I've got my hazards on. You can kind of see where I'm at in Kentucky. Zoom in here. Oh, try to do this looking through my phone. I-69, and this is the what is that? Whoops! What did I do? Sorry, very unprofessional. There's the Edward T. Breathitt Pennyrile Parkway. Seriously, people need to learn how to name some roads. I mean, did they have a lot of money or what? Anyway, so here I am. At any minute, I'm expecting a phone call, and let me show you why. Because I'm officially broken down on the side of the road due to a mechanical failure of a tire. Now that nobody's coming. I expect this video to be interrupted at any second with a phone call. So I got my hazards on. So I was traveling down the highway and just kaboom! I heard an explosion. This one will be a little bit easier for the repairman to fix. It is the outside tire. Let's see if I can... Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, the tire came apart. See a split here, and it unraveled really quickly. You can see my mud guard is ripped off and up underneath the tire. And then I put in the see, I don't know where this came from. I didn't notice this before, but a bunch of little micro scratches on the deck now. It was probably from the flap of the tire with the steel belting in there as it was flicking by before it came off all the way. And I came back here to get tire information off the side of the tire, and I set out my my triangles, and okay, so I'm walking this way, I put out the triangles, and I turn around and I'm walking back, and I'm like, holy crap, it took out the entire light console and did damage to the rear of the trailer. I was like, holy cow. It's I'd never seen such a thing. And here, if you look in the back, you can see that the tire is still the cap is still partially in place here, and only a portion of it peeled off. So everything else was fine that I know of. I sent in there's a macro we put in saying we have a breakdown. We put in our exact location, which is kind of odd in the sense that I would assume that this has a GPS positioning on it already with its through the OmniTrax, because it has GPS in it. But anyway, the thing I like about my GPS is, one, I know what mile marker I'm at, but I press I'm missing the buttons. Current location, I-69, Nortonville, Kentucky. If I needed to go Latin long, that's where I'm at. And so anyway, here I sit, breakdown mode, waiting for a phone call or a message to come across the Qualcomm, letting me know who is coming to fix that. Okay.
A new message has arrived.
Ouch. So they gave me the shop name and the time frame, 60 to 90 minutes. I'm not in a convenient location. This is kind of like in the middle of nowhere in the sense of any type of cities. As you saw in the GPS, there's as you can see on the sign up here, there's a split in the highway, but other than that, I'm kind of some distance from repair facilities. So I shall wait until I get repaired. And I get breakdown pay, but it's kind of, I shouldn't have rubbed my eye. You're supposed to tell me not to do that. Usually I can avoid it. It kind of messes up my clock in the sense that...
Home. Messaging. You have two.
Okay. So I have 4 hours and 51 minutes. No, I don't. That was my 11-hour clock. I'm driving on my 14-hour clock because it took them so long to get this. In fact, when I got my load, which is these little tiny steel coils, 11 of them, which was crazy on its own, which is what I was going to cover until this happened. When I first showed up, to the shipper, they gave me the wrong paperwork. So when I proceeded off the scales and went to go get the stuff, they were saying, "Oh, you're at the wrong door. Go here." Well, I'm looking at the I look at the paperwork and I'm like, "Oh, this says it's going to be delivered in Indiana, and I'm supposed to be going to Georgia. Those are two different states." So that was an automated telephone call to let me know that I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, it's to tell me the shop information that's in my Omnitrax message. But anyway, it took them forever to. Once I realized the discrepancy on the paperwork, I went and talked to the loader and I said, "I think this is the wrong paperwork. I'm supposed to be going to Georgia." And I noticed on here the load number is different than is one number off from what I gave. Come to find out, the truck driver in front of me, the exact same thing happened to him. He had one number off from his load. So we both had to go back up to the front gate, get our paperwork, come back. By that time, I'd been there for 40 minutes just to get my paperwork to get loaded. And then it took a little bit of time to get the 11 coils situated on the back, loaded, secured, tarped, and then out of there. So it doesn't deliver until 11 a.m. tomorrow, but I was hoping to kind of be there a little bit early, like a couple hours early. But I think this repair is going to crush me because right now I've only got 2 hours and 56 minutes. Yeah. And that will count down until there is no more time. So hopefully this gets repaired before that runs out and I can get somewhere that has parking. So let me use my fancy GPS here. Click a couple buttons and see what is ahead of me. Oh, here, let me show you what I do. So I hit this button and I want to choose a destination. It'll eventually focus, sorry. This says points of interest. And I want to look at points of interest along my route. And let me just see when the next rest stop is. Come on. So it's 39 westbound, eastbound. I want to say I'm going eastbound. So it's not rated very high, and it's 41 miles away. Yeah, it's kind of a smaller one. So we'll go back. We've now just checked out parking areas or rest areas. Now let's look to see if there is a service center that is closer. There is a Flying J that is, I think, about the same distance, but it is rated higher, so it might have more available parking at that time of night. It really depends on how long this is going to take. So if it takes them an hour and a half to get here, and let's say an hour and a half to fix all the problems because my lights are gone, my tires needs to be changed. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I have no idea right now, so I will report back once I know. Once I'm parked for the night, I will update you. How's that? Right now, I'm gonna go sit in the air-conditioned part of my truck. They are finishing up. They replaced the tire, but the damage to the trailer is so bad that they're gonna follow me to their shop, which is 5 miles up this highway to the north by the pilot, and there they will attempt to fix the rest. But that will eat up the rest of my time, I know that, but I'll be parked. And then, if they fix it today, I'll have 5 hours and 30 minutes to get there tomorrow. So we will see what happens. All right. Well, it's 5:46. I am at the pilot at the boss shop. Interstate 69 heading north, exit 37. It's 5:46 Central Time, and I've got an hour and 14 minutes left on my clock, so I'll be staying the night here in 5.5 hours to go tomorrow. I'm going to send in a message because I won't make the 11 o'clock scheduled time that I have, but I don't know if they'll change it. I just want to let them know what's going on, so because they have some serious metal bending to do in order to repair the trailer lights and the mud flap. So I don't know how long that'll take. Take more than time than I have left to drive, so at least I got someplace to park once they're done, and then we'll go from there. It's about 5:40 in the afternoon, and I'm at the end of my day because I got up at 4 this morning to make my load. Oh, look at that. I gotta fix my tarp. Running out of battery juice on this phone too. Why did I come back here? To show you this. So they replaced the flap, got a new tire, and this part that was completely smashed in, I had to go back to their shop, and they worked on this for a while to straighten this out. You can see all the rubber mallet marks, and then they, as you can see over here, the comparison: silver, light, red grommet, light, and they did that for all three. And since these are not standard issue for this trailer, they had to splice it into the wires, and you can see this piece of aluminum. We'll see on this side where the lights are, there's a piece. They ground it down, but this piece of aluminum was actually ripped off by the tire flap as it came over and slapped on the deck and took everything out with it. So yeah, so I'm legal, but it's not pretty. The bracket is holding it together right now, but that's gonna have to be welded back at the shop. I've got a bunch of product on, but don't even want to talk. I don't know if I really want to talk about it. There's my tire that I got to take back. Now I'll get in the truck where it's quiet. Oh, sunshine. All right. I should just end it there because my battery's going to die on my phone, and then, you know, it's going to end the video automatically. But we're required to bring our tires back to our company. I'm not sure if they have a disposal process that they follow, but anyway, that's what I do. There's a lot of things that I got to turn the trailer in for when I get back this weekend. The interesting story: paperwork for the load I currently have, it took me 3 trips to the shipper to get it corrected, because when I first got the paperwork, it had the wrong information on it. It was another trucking company with a different amount of product on the truck, so I went back in and they said, oh, okay, so they got the whiteout out, wrote in over the current trucking company that was on the paperwork, and just wrote in Maverick. And I'm like, okay. They said, yeah, there's supposed to be 14 containers on your truck. If there's not, let us know, because that'll be a problem. And I'm like, great. I'm pretty certain there's only 12. So I was going out there to my truck, putting back on my equipment, so I can take off my tarps to recount this stuff, because now I'm second guessing myself. And while I was getting my gloves on, the forklift comes out and he's honking his horn. He says, "Come back in. They realized they gave you the wrong paperwork." And I was like, "Well, that's what I was telling them when I first went in there." So the third trip in, which, you know, third time's a charm, they did give me the correct paperwork. I guess there's 2 trucks going from that particular location to the same location in Conway, Arkansas, which is near Little Rock. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Oh, but that's the end of my day. I'm staying at this little truck stop that does not even have a bathroom in it. What kind of... Oh well. Oh well. I'll get up in the morning, continue my day. 5.5 hours away, I'll be in Little Rock when I get up in the morning. I'm pretty sure I'm not getting up at 4. I got up at 4 this morning so I can make my just-in-time delivery, because I sacrifice like that. Boy, was I tired this morning. But once I got about 12 o'clock, I wasn't tired anymore. It was weird. So, anyway, life is moving on. See you tomorrow.